Hey, this is Jody. Welcome to week one, day one of 21 Days to Great Hitting. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited. Day one, right? Awesome. So let me burst the bubble. We're not going to be hitting breaking balls today. We're not going to be doing much of anything with the bat. We're going to start at the beginning, okay? We're going to start at the basics. We're going to put everything together mentally. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a mental goal impression or a Miggy. Your Miggy today is your post game success in the car driving home. Here's a video on that. So recreate the feeling. Remember what mental goal impressions are doing. We're visualizing an outcome and we're recreating the feeling as though that goal has been reached and impressing that upon your subconscious, upon your brain. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to recreate the feeling in the car upon a successful day at the plate, and you're recreating that feeling where you're driving home. There's nothing to worry about. There's no worry about the next game coming. Just okay. So the way you're going to do this is first take a deep breath in, utmost capacity, hold it, let it all the way out, all the way out, and then recreate that feeling in the car where there's nothing to worry about. You've gone 2 for 4, 3 for 4, 4 for 4. You've done everything right. That's your Miggy for the day. Okay, so that Miggy you're going to do for 5 minutes minimum. I want you to use your stopwatch and make sure that you've got 5 minutes minimum of creating that impression of in the car post game. That feeling. That's an awesome feeling. Okay, now we're going to go through 7 different exercises. Exercise 2 is going to be the knee slap drill. Here's a video on the knee slap drill. This is, again, one of the fundamental things that we do in the off-season early. This can be done at any point during the year, but early, especially when we're getting our hips going. This is a great drill for young kids who are having trouble connecting, making that kinetic chain connection between the lower body and the upper body. So there's no ball in this one, there's no bat. All you're doing is you're mimicking what the guys do in, let's say, home run derby, where their backsides come through like this, where their back hip is flying through. So knee slap literally is the back leg coming to the front arm. I'm left-handed in a knee slap position. So as the coach or as the instructor, it is stance, load, knee slap, just like that. Stance, load, knee slap, just like that. You have very little, if any, issue with a younger hitter getting their back hip to come through. If they're actually knee slapping, you can't not bring your back knee back, back hip through if the foot is coming off the ground. So think Todd Helton, think Frank Thomas. Those guys actually in games would have their back foot come off the ground and drive into their front hip. You don't want to see the hitter going like this, because it means that their front hip isn't locking out and that hitter's not hitting against that front hip. We want to have the situation be that the hitter hits against this front hip. So there should be some tension right in here. You should have the hitter knee slap right here. And it's a great drill, again, to connect lower body with upper body comfortably. That's the knee slap drill. And again, the point with the knee slap drill is to make nice with the bat, okay? The bat, for people who are struggling a little bit, the bat represents failure. So we're putting the bat to the side, and we're making nice with the bat by putting it to the side and making sure that we're in the right state of mind. You're going to do 5 sets of 10 knee slaps, okay? That's exercise 2. Exercise 3 is the BB drill. Here's a video on that. This is a very fundamental drill. It's one of the first things we do in the off season. What it does, you put the bat down and you put the batting gloves down, and the idea is if you can get your top hand to go to the ball and to be able to touch it aggressively, kind of go through it, right back at the pitcher, it confirms that the hitter can hit, right? So from a mindset perspective, we want to come from a place where we believe that we can hit before we pick up the baseball bat. Because if we don't believe that, there's no point in picking up the baseball bat. So the BB drill really simply can be done in tandem with a partner, or it can be done by himself, by the hitter. I'm left-handed, so it's going to look something like this. You're going to go into your stance, and then if you've got a partner, you're going to go into your stance, and then you're going to load. You're going to have your partner to flip it, and you're going to come right back out just like that and getting it, and doing it over and over and over again. If you're by yourself, the hitter would just simply take the ball with his bottom hand, throw it up, and come out just like this. Now I know you're gonna want to have the hitters do this because palm up, palm down, right? That doesn't work for this drill, mostly because once you have the hitter put the bat into his hand, there's gonna be a natural response like this because there's weight of the bat that's gonna make the bat go down, or you're gonna get a negative angle going in. So we want to be able to create a level swing. So we're doing this so that once the bat is in the hitter's hand, he's going to do this. He or she is going to do this. That's the BB drill. It's a great drill for building confidence early in the off season. And again, the point of that drill is to prove to yourself that you can hit. Remember, your hands go where your hips take them, right? So if you can hit the hand where the ball is, that means you can hit. So don't ever wonder after that point, okay? That's the third drill. The fourth drill is dry swings, reverse-handed. Now, we didn't do a video on this. We're going to do 100 reps of this. And all that is if you're a left-handed hitter, you're going to take 100 swings right-handed. If you're a right-handed hitter, you're going to take 100 swings left-handed, okay? If you need to filter that down because you're a younger hitter, so 12 and under, if you want to break that in about half and to do 50 reps from the opposite side, do it. But that's a really important part of this, especially if you're not feeling great about your swing, because neuromuscularly that turns things around a little bit and really helps you even out all of the impact and the things that you're doing, because you're doing the same thing over and over again. A lot of times that will get stale in your brain, so doing it the other way kind of resets and refocuses you on the other way and sets your brain and skeletal features back to a place where you're back to even. Now, if you're a switch hitter, then you're going to want to take whatever dominant side that you're doing and taking more swings on and taking that opposite side, because you're probably not equal-handed doing swings. Whatever the weak side is doing, that's what you're doing there. Exercise 5 is going to be the T-MAP hit line analysis. Here's a video on that. If you come in and look at the T-MAP here, you'll see the righty line and the lefty line. The first thing that you do with the hit line analysis is you start it away. So let's assume that it's a righty, and the righty's going to have his front foot behind that front foot line, and you're going to have the hitter swing from away. He or she is very likely going to be able to hit the baseball and square it up. And as you move down the line, you'll have him hit another time, down the line, hit another time. There will be a fail point, one in which the hitter will roll his or her wrists, and that will be the fail point. You can take the tee off and point to the fail point. This represents his success, or his or her success, and from here represents the work zone. So your goal as the instructor is going to be, how do we create success going all the way out to this line? Now, very rarely is anybody ever going to be able to cover the entire line. There will be a fail point no matter what, and those will represent gaps for workspace versus success. But this is how we're going to measure using the T-MAP in a hit line analysis. And the hit line analysis is really important because it gives you that point on the T-MAP where the hitter's failing, and it defines the workspace. So we've got to define that. Here's the goal. We're trying to get all the way out to the end of this line. Here's my fail point. Okay, that's it. The first day is pretty simple. After that, what you've got in terms of content is you've got your hit journal. So in your hit journal, here's a video on that. Now, hitting journals can take any form or fashion, but what you want to be able to do is to be able to write down in a sequence every single thing that's going on with your hitting. So hit journals can be as simple as 3-ring little binder. This isn't a 3-ring, but a little binder like this. That could be an actual composition book like this. It can be online if you want it to be. It works better though if you're doing it handwritten. So the different parts of the hit journal, one is going to be, if you're in season, the first part of it is going to be each one of your at-bats, what pitch was thrown, where it was thrown, whether it was a ball or a strike, and what the outcome was. So what that does is, in an outcome in which you've got hard contact but no hit, we've got it on the record that it's hard contact. So what you can do with that is you can redefine success. What you would do is you'd simply circle the hard contacts, whether or not they're whether or not they're a single, double, triple, or home run or a walk, whatever, doesn't matter. If it's a hard contact but it was an out, you can still circle those. So you can still go 2 for 4 even though the two contacts might have been just two hard contacts but not necessarily hits. Okay, so that's one of the ways that you do it in season. Off season, you would just simply omit that part of it and go straight to the second part, which is the assessment. The assessment is how you did. This is your place to flush. This is your place to say, I stunk. This is your place to say, I was awesome. This is your place to be rigorously honest. This is your place to get it all out. Just flush. Boom. The next part is your mechanics. How did you do? How did you felt like you did? What things were happening in your swing during the game that had an impact? And what do you feel like you could do better? That is what the mechanics section is. Finally, is the in the end section. This is a place where you do your affirmations. You could also call it the affirmation section. Whatever you want to do, in the end or affirmation, either one is fine. You're going and you're affirming what you're doing and all of the work that you've done in the off season and during the season. The fact that you should trust the process, the fact that you believe in yourself, all these things. You can write exclamation points. This is where you really try to pep yourself back up and end positively. Be honest in the beginning, but end positively no matter what. Those are the different parts of the HIT journal. Thanks. And with that HIT journal, don't skip that part. It's a really important part, and here's why. Your brain takes action at the sight of a goal, not the utterance of a goal. So if you've got a goal that's kind of floating around in your head, but it's not been written, then it's not likely to be taken action. Very few people actually reach goals because very few people actually write them down. So if you're one of those people who want to gain and reach their goals, you gotta write them down, okay? That's the HIT journal. The last thing that you're doing is you're doing a second mental goal impression, the same one that we did to start out the day, which is post-game success in the car, driving yourself home if you're old enough, or being driven home after a great day. Just that feeling of there's no tension, there's no stress, there's no what does tomorrow bring, there's no anything. I accomplished my goals today. I deserve this feeling, and that's day one.